Hi and welcome, this is David. Welcome to another installment of the Human Technology Tools videos. The Human Technology Tools are designed to give you a reminder of how life works and a powerful application tool for that knowledge when you need it the most, especially in times of a crisis or a growth opportunity. There are several of these tools, all of them are meant to work together. This particular one is called the EgoSCRIPT, and it will help you shift the results that you're currently experiencing in your physical life into the ones that you do wish to experience, and it's meant to do that in line with the way life works so that that shift happens as effortlessly as possible. You can download a PDF file like the one you see here from ahappypocket.com. You can see the address right at the bottom of this video, ahappypocket.com, and you can get full instructions on how to use this tool from the book A Happy Pocket Full of Life, again from the same address. Now let's look at this tool. First, let's understand the big picture, the fundamentals, so to speak. At the very top it says, as above, so below. What this means is, if you look, this tool is divided into halves. There's a bottom half and the top half. At the top half you have a triangle there, and at the very top of that triangle it says beliefs, followed by emotions, followed by thoughts. What this means is that the beliefs you have, although usually you're not aware of your beliefs, although you can become aware of them, and we'll get to that shortly, the beliefs you have are the ones that cause a certain vibration to arise from within you, which you experience as a feeling or an emotion. There is no feeling or emotion that will come up within you that is not based on a belief that you have. Now, based on this feeling or emotion, a thought will arise. As you can see, the triangle is actually pointing downwards, not upwards. And there's a good reason to that. And we'll cover that shortly. So, at the very top, beliefs, highest vibrational level, they cause feelings or emotion, which in turn cause thoughts. And then those thoughts make you carry out a certain action. Okay? Now, this entire structure, and the one that lies above it, and that's covered in the level script tool, which is a bit separate from this. This entire structure represents your ego, you know, your localized physical self, you could say. This is your ego here, this triangle. Now, what happens is, at the bottom half, you have another triangle that says reality results. Again, it's in quotes for a particular reason, because the reality really is just it's a perception of energy. So I think you've heard this before from the field of quantum physics, when people say that everything that you see around you is just a bunch of energy, and the seeming solidity is appearing so only because of the senses that we are built to have. Let's say our eyes, ears, nose, sense of touch, and so on. Okay, so reality is not as solid as it appears, and that's why this is in quotes, so that you can keep that in mind. It's very, very changeable, very malleable, it's very fluid. And in the book A Happy Pocket Full of Life, there's a chapter on quantum physics that really explains that in further details. It's actually a very, very fluid thing made up of energy that is changing billions of times a second. Okay? But anyways, what happens is it changes. Your physical experience here changes according to your non-physical experience, which brings us to this label here that says inside in quotes, and this one down here that says outside. So the upper half represents the inside of your ego, and the lower half, your physical results, actually represents the outside in quotes. The reason why it's in quotes is that again, we now have scientific evidence and beyond that says that all experiences happen within your consciousness, not outside of, but within. As a human being, you seem to feel as if you're inside a physical body and you're looking out into the external world. Okay? But that is just the way your tools of perception are built. They make you feel this way. There's actually a part of your brain that is designed to make you think that. But in actuality, there's just a consciousness, and all this is happening within that consciousness. So even what seems outside of you is happening within your consciousness. Just like in the same way when you're sleeping and you're dreaming, it appears that you are in your dream state, your inner world, and you're running around and you're doing all these things. But when you actually wake up, you realize all that was happening, you could say, in your mind, you could say, or somewhere else. But it was all you, the thing that was in the dream, and everything else around was all you. You constructed it. Or, let's put it this way, when you imagine, when you're daydreaming, you have all these scenarios, you actually have people talking to people in your daydreams, but everyone and all those characters are all you. They're all within your consciousness. Okay? So that's why these labels are in quotes, outside and inside. Let's look at the next fundamental part of this tool. As you can see, there's a middle line that runs from top to bottom. That's a line of transformation. On the left you have current and future. So the left side represents your current state and the right side represents your future. Again, they are in quotes because time is yet another thing that we humans perceive, but all science and experience shows that space-time is actually just something we perceive, but in reality everything seems to be in the here now. There's a sort of a point moment called the here now. So the past, future and present are all coexisting at the same time, just like you'd find a whole movie rests on one DVD at the same time, but when you watch it from the beginning of the movie to the end. Okay, so that's why these things are in quotes, just to remind you. And remember, all this tool works in conjunction with other tools, so that when you actually start using all tools at the same time, these concepts will become much easier to take in and understand and accept. Now the last part of the fundamentals is this arrow that says raise your vibration. You see, the way these things are is that physical matter is a lower vibrational aspect of the same energy as is the non-physical. Let's use the water analogy. If you take away energy from water, it cools down and then it solidifies into ice. If you add, let's say vibration, let's not use the word energy. If you add vibration to the water energy or the water molecule, it vibrates faster and the whole thing now becomes water from ice. Ice becomes water because you added frequency, vibration to it. When you add even more frequency or vibration to water, it becomes gas or steam. That's the same way all physical things are. You know, if you add vibration to steel, it heats up and becomes molten steel. Okay? Just about anything you can think of acts in the same way. So generally, energy, when it lowers its vibration, it becomes physical, you could say. When it raises its vibration, it becomes non-physical, you could say, right? Now, so if you wish to discover or become aware of the beliefs that are driving your life, you actually need to raise your vibration, not lower. How do you raise your vibration? By feeling better, by gratitude, by appreciation, by letting go, by acceptance, by love. This is the way you become aware. You raise your vibration to the level where your beliefs are actually stored and you can see them clearly. If you are to lower them, if you are to get stressed and closed up and shut down and all depressed, then you will not see your beliefs. You will not see them. So although they are said to lie in the unconscious or the subconscious or whatever, that doesn't mean you go down to find them. This word is confusing, unconscious or subconscious. It suggests going downwards. But all it's saying is that it lies below your awareness level. But to actually become aware, you rise up. Okay. Now I think we've covered all the fundamentals. So let's get started. Right, now we start on position 1. The box that says number 1 says your current physical results or experiences. What you do is you just make quick notes over here. You can make them in pencil because sometimes you might want to keep this paper for maybe days or weeks, sometimes even months, as you go through shifts. It depends on what you're trying to shift. Some things can shift in a very short time. Some might take a while, even though we know that energy is changing billions of times a second. But it all depends on how much on other things anyways. But so maybe you might want to use a pencil, and if you want, you can use an extra sheet of paper. But in box 1 you write what you're experiencing currently, and then in box 2 you write how that is making you feel currently, because it appears as if what you're experiencing is what's making you feel that way. Although we know that it's the feeling that actually created the physical results, we tend to experience things in the reverse. So Write what you are feeling about your current physical results and experiences in box 2. Okay? Then cross over to box 3 and write what you'd like to experience in your physicality. What do you want to change in your physical experience? Write that in box 3. And then in box 4, write how you imagine that will make you feel. Because this is the way we usually think. We usually think that, if I get that new relationship, or if I start going to the gym, or if I buy that new car, that new home, or that new job, I'm going to feel better in this way and that way and that way. So we tend to think like that. So that's why this chart is designed for you to feel in the way you tend to think. Although creation actually works in quite the opposite way. So just fill it in this order. Fill in how you think, how you imagine that your desired future physical experience or results will make you feel. Yeah? Because that's pretty much what you're chasing. You'd not be motivated to change your physical experience unless you are thinking that that will help you feel a certain way. So just write that down. How do you think that will make you feel? And then you go to number 6, back to your current state of affairs. Based on what you've written down in terms of your physical results and experiences and your feelings, you go to number 5. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts right now based on your current physical results, experiences, and your feelings? What are you thinking about now? Sometimes you seem to, we all have this little conversation in our head. What is that conversation saying? Okay? And then, now, since you've got your physical results written down, your thoughts and your feelings, your current, now you can look at your beliefs. Yeah? It will help actually if you are able to raise your emotion, maybe just open up your mind and all that. But if at the moment you can't anyways, just infer, kind of imagine, what kind of beliefs am I holding for me to have these feelings and thoughts and physical results? So just write them down here. What are those beliefs? Either discover them by raising your vibration, or if you find yourself unable to, just try and guess what they are for now. You will later on clarify them over time. I guarantee you they'll become more aware. You'll become more aware of them. So write your beliefs. And then very importantly, write down your judgments and consequences of those beliefs. In other words, what do you think, what do you believe about that belief? In other words, if you believe that you are unable to do thing X, or you're unable to attract the right partner or something, you might have the judgment that means you're not good enough, and that means it's bad, you're in a bad place, or you're not good enough, or whatever. Whatever the judgment is the glue, the one that makes you accept a belief. So you need to write it down so you can become clear of it. What have you judged yourself and this belief as? In terms of, is it good or bad? Are you good or bad? Or are you failing because X, Y, Z? There's usually a sort of a chain there. And also write the consequences. For example, you might believe that you're not good at remembering people's faces, and that's why you can't do any networking, and that's why you can't get any business done, or whatever. There's always consequences. Now, consequences can be summarized as this: they're either punishments or rewards. So you've told yourself something, that because of this belief you are this kind of person, and therefore you suffer this kind of punishment or rewards. Okay, so write that down. Now cross over. Now imagine you've come from your current and you're now in your future. So pace yourself into the future, throw yourself into the future, and write down what beliefs do you imagine you need to have, so that you can have the desired physical results and experiences you wrote about earlier, have the feelings that you wrote about earlier. So what beliefs do you imagine you need to have to experience those feelings and those physical results? And while you're at it, write the judgment that you'd make of that. What kind of person do you make of yourself to have those kind of beliefs? Are you a powerful person, a good person? Because judgment is basically good or bad. So write down that. What you believe about that belief and about you having that belief. Understand? And then write down the consequences that you imagine such a belief will have, because obviously you're looking for the reward. So maybe you feel that, you'll be more accepted, you'll be more capable of handling life, or whatever it is. So the consequence is always a punishment or a reward. Yeah. So these are the things that make a belief stick: judgment, which is good or bad, or consequence, which is reward or punishment. So just write that down. And then finally go to number 8 and write down what you imagine you will be thinking in the new you that has these particular beliefs as expressed in number 7, these particular feelings as expressed in box 4, the desired physical results as expressed in box 3. What kind of thoughts will you be having in your life? Now once you've written down all that, this will give you a very quick chart that will help you know that for you to experience the desired physical results or experiences that you wrote down in box 3, you will need to become the person that has the beliefs in box 7, and of course it's judgments and consequences. You need to become the kind of person that therefore feels the feelings you wrote down in box 4, and therefore has the thoughts you wrote down in box 8. Now the place to start this transformation is at the belief level. Usually we tend to throw ourselves in the physical world and say, if only I worked harder and I pushed more and I drove myself like crazy, I'll change result A into result B. But I think we've all come to realize that it doesn't work that way. That's not the way the system is set up. First of all, your system is not even set up to really experience the physical result directly. What you usually experience when you look out, when you open your eyes and look at the world, is basically let's say you see, look, what I'm trying to say is this: two people can see the same event but have two different experiences from it. Two people can meet the same person, and one person likes that person, the other one says, I don't like that person. Two people can see the same opportunity, one sees it as a good thing, the other one runs away from it. In other words, you're always experiencing your internal self, and the results that you create always come from your internal self also. Therefore, where to start if you want a transformation is within, and automatically it will translate into without. Don't even bother trying to change the external directly. It doesn't work that way. Yeah? So you start here at number 7, beliefs. And now this will take you to the other human technology tool. We actually have 2 human technology tools to help you come up with new beliefs and actually imprint them into yourself. But that is covered in 2 different videos, as we will soon see. Okay, so there you go. That's the EgoSCRIPT chart, and that kind of explains how to change your reality, or at least it sets you up for the next stage, which is changing your beliefs and all that. And just a quick word before we close this video. One way to start creating the new beliefs is to, if you can, start accessing the feeling that you wrote down in box 4. So even though you might not have the results in box 3 already, you can, but you already know the feelings that you need to have. Therefore, remind yourself, when have I had these feelings? In what other situations? Because I'm sure you've had those feelings. Let's say if you felt, I'm not accepted right now unless I have results in box 3. There are other times in your life you felt accepted, so you can still elicit or bring up that feeling now, even though you don't have the results in box 3. By bringing up that feeling now, you already start shifting and transforming. You already are able to access the new beliefs that you need, or able to start creating them and gluing them there. So there's really no point of you fighting your thoughts at this stage or trying to manipulate the physical reality at this stage. The things you can do best for yourself to start the transformation is to adopt new beliefs and start feeling how you think you will feel after you have the new result. So those are the 2 things you can do right now. Now keep this piece of paper for every new goal or transformation that you wish to effect, and use it as you go along, because instead of writing a journal, which is just everyone says writing a journal is good, keep a diary, keep a journal. Yes, that's good, but this is better than a journal because it actually places things in the right perspective. And use a pencil to write instead of pen, I prefer, and keep it. And as you go through life and your transformation happens, by looking back, you'll see how far you've come, and you'll also learn how to do it faster and faster and faster next time, until you are able to instantly transform, yeah, instead of taking such a long time. So thank you for your time. The next step, once you've got this, once you've downloaded this PDF from ahappypocket.com and used it, is to now use the other human technology tools that help you change your beliefs. So thank you.